the general perception of media people about India
Yeah.
is, and what also because they think that's the public what they think, is that well, India is growing,
Yes.
and they expect that this growth of the economy will gradually pull all
everybody.
people out of
Right.
poverty, and and this is a good thing because it's a natural growth. And if we interfere with that growth,
Yeah.
if we take away the resources from this growing business and
Right.
we give it directly to the poor, that means we involve the state.
Right.
And the state is famous for corruption, inefficiency. So if we let the spontaneous growth that the business is driving,
things will
it will percolate down to everybody. If we instead divert the resources to assist the population, it will drive the growth.
No, I think your rendition of the mainstream or elite view of what is happening is quite correct. That India is doing well, it's growing, and things will take care of themselves. But I think that is really disconnected from reality. And if you look at the progress of social indicators and the space of poverty reduction in the last 20 years when India has been enjoying runaway growth, it's been really, really dismal. I mean, for example, the nutrition indicators have barely improved over 20 years of rapid growth. It's not that things are not improving at all. I mean, they are improving. I mean, after all, even in wartime, people's living conditions sometimes improve. So the fact that they are improving is not a vindication of the current economic policies. The point is, how fast are they improving, and what is the living conditions of people still today? And I think if you look at the experience, whether you look at the comparative experiences of states in India, you look around in South Asia, or you compare India with China, or you look even at the historical experiences of the rich countries, the so-called capitalist countries today, the message comes again and again that if you want a rapid improvement in people's living conditions, in education, in health, in nutrition, and so on, then there has to be a huge amount of state involvement and of public intervention. That comes out even in the history of the rich countries. I mean, look at the healthcare systems. All the so-called capitalist countries of Western Europe and North America, with the partial exception of the United States, have hugely developed healthcare systems with virtually universal access. And the share of public health expenditure in total health expenditure is very large. I mean, usually it's more than 50%, going up to 80 or 90% in some countries. Whereas in India, the share of the public sector in health expenditure is only about 15 to 20%, even though India calls itself a socialist country. So whether you look at those historical experiences, you compare India with China, or even with its South Asian neighbors, whether you look at the comparative experiences within India, for example, with a state like Kerala, which was not so long ago as poor as most other states in India, but vastly better social indicators, in terms of life expectancy, of child mortality, of education, of nutrition, and so on. Or the states like Himachal Pradesh in the north of India, which now have as good indicators as Kerala, in spite of being also very poor not so long ago. You look at these comparative experiences, it's the same message again, that public intervention is fundamental if you want to achieve rapid improvement in living conditions and development in the full sense of the term. And I think that today there's a great danger of forgetting that historical lesson and of having this illusion, which you have described very well, that growth is going to solve all the problems. And if we count on growth alone, then I think we're going to see the continuation of this really dismal pattern where a minority of the population is enjoying transformations of living conditions that they would not have dreamed of 20 or 30 years ago, while for a large majority of people things continue much as before. We call it the welfare state, and it has a kind of paternalistic ring. Don't call it welfare state, call it social solidarity, call it enabling everyone to at least have unconditional access to the basics, to health, to education, social security, some form of nutrition support. I mean, these things have to be provided through some kind of public intervention. I think there's no alternative to that.